Alright, here we are, Canadian Junkyard. Okay, pro tip here. Okay gang, we're back. It's the next day. It's sunny, everything's melting. Great day for Bondo. So, got a few things that we found in the garage. This here, the Bondo hair, designed for holes up to 1 inch and rust outs. Says it's twice as strong as regular body filler and waterproof. So we're gonna try that. And then this one is like it's called putty coat, but my understanding is that this is kind of for finishing. So we're gonna use this one to fill as much of the hole as we can here. And then we're gonna let that dry. And then we're gonna come along here with the putty coat and try that. Each of these require a hardener. These have been in the garage for, I would say, at least 10-15 years. I used a little, maybe a quarter of the bottle for some other project. I don't even remember. But they've been just sitting in the garage, out in the cold and everything. So I don't know. I opened them up and they don't look that bad. So we're going to try it. But the thing is that I was out of the hardener stuff. When you buy this, it comes with one. I did have a little package left, but it legit was like pretty much totally empty. So we're going to open up this new fancy one here. This was like $8.99, I think. Canadian, of course, here, our Canadian tool store. And I read that you use about like per quarter can of either of these, you use about a quarter tube. So, you know, it's a very small percentage. So I'm gonna put some gloves on for this, I think. I got a little pizza box that I think will be ideal for mixing this up. This off once, so it should come out pretty easy. And I just got an old shim here to kind of get the stuff out. Let's see if we can get her out. This stuff might be too old to use, but we'll see. Let's see if we can get some of it out here. Work it around a bit and maybe get it to be okay. Trying to get a big clump of it out. Maybe we'll fast forward some of this footage. It's pretty hard to work right now, but I feel like, let's see that. Let's use fiberglass. It's a little more than I probably wanted, but put this part back in. Good. Now we'll hit it with this stuff. I don't know, maybe that much. Very good. Try not to lose the cap. And I'm going to try to work this in here and see if we can get it going. I don't know if that's going to work very well or not, but we'll try. Okay, I'm going to keep working on this, and we'll be back soon. Okay, so we've worked this stuff up pretty good to the point where it's certainly not perfect. I think it's meant to be. If it was newer, it would probably work a lot better. I have checked this stuff, though, that we're going to use as our outer coat, and it's in real good shape. Like it's not clumped up at all. So I kind of like just made sure I worked all that glue stuff in so that it should harden up. I'll try to take like a reasonably small piece. We're going to attempt to like put it in here and kind of mold it. This one part does not need to be perfect, but we're just trying to fill up some of this space. You know, so I'm going to try to pop it in here. Underneath. I'm going to shove it in. And hopefully give us a really nice backing for our putty coat when we come along and do that. Looks looking not bad. this stuff there. The video's getting long. I'm gonna have to make this into a two-parter. Another piece here. And then on this side, hopefully. This is just a shim that I'm using here, this wooden piece. I need something that was kind of strong to get that stuff out of there. And these are like little Bondo spreaders that you can get at most auto parts stores. These two things work pretty good. They're more made for like making that nice clean edge, which we will do with the putty coat once it's ready. That's looking pretty good. You can see the hairs of the fiberglass kind of hanging out. Just try to kind of tuck those in. So that's pretty good there. I like that. So we're going to let that dry for a bit. And then we will try to come along with the putty coat. It's pretty good underneath. Yeah, I think that's good for now. Okay, more to come when we're ready for the next phase. Okay, so we've put in the blue stuff. That's starting to harden up pretty well here. A bit of a thud to it there, so that's good. I do want to clean this area a little bit though, up top. So I'm just going to try to get some of this salt and stuff off of here. It also says that you should rough up with some sandpaper the area where you're going to be applying the putty coat. I'm not too worried about that just yet because I'm just going to be trying to cover this crack and that crack and build up another layer on top of here. But after that, we will kind of rough up this rest of this area to try and help blend it a bit. Bought some sandpaper too. So, let's get right to it. Let's get our gloves back on. They're over here. Excuse me. Try to do our putty coat now. I could probably stand to dry a little bit more, but I can probably fine. Pop this one open. Okay, this one I had open already and stirred it up a little bit. This stirred up a lot better. So I'm going to, label's kind of falling off here. You can see in there, it looks a little bit better. So I'll give it another stir. And I'll put some on the other side of the pizza box. Right here. That's probably going to be enough. A little more just to be sure. Take some of our, oh no, I just dropped the hardener right into the actual stuff. That's unfortunate. I'll wipe that off with the wet cloth. Just get some on my hat. That's great. Okay, I think we're good enough now. The blue stuff in here, put a little bit of that in. And we're not building a piano here, we'll just kind of take a bit of a guess at how much of that to mix in. A lot of this stuff on my gloves now. Okay, we're going to mix this up. If I can adjust that camera a bit for you. better. Okay, you can see this stuff mixes up way nicer. It's probably going to give us a better finish. Okay, let's take this guy maybe here. Clean this off. Okay. Now we're going to try to just get some of this on here. Start at the bottom. Okay, a little bit more. Oh, I can't see the car now. Can you? Yeah, not at all. That's too bad. There. How's that? These gloves are going to be garbage after this, I think. I'm going. Kind of like arts class here. Could certainly be better. Let's try going like this. I feel like I have too much on here now. People that actually do this, I know, are like a million times better at this than I am. But again, we're trying to just like do a reasonable job here that's not going to be too noticeable. Okay, I'm actually going to use my finger to try and like get some of this groove here so that this doesn't become not bad. I feel like that's not too bad for a, it's really a first coat after the filler. Yeah, I think I'm gonna let that dry a bit. I am gonna try to get underneath and put some on the edge. These gloves are just a mess now. These are garbage. Alright, we're going to let that dry now for a while. See how it looks in a bit. Okay, we're back. This has been no more than 20 minutes, and she's like definitely good for the next coat. So I've gone ahead and mixed up our next batch, and we're going to have a go at her. I'm going to use this fresh one. some better disposable gloves on this time. That'll be a little bit better. We'll try to go with the finger again. See if we can't just tidy it up a little bit. If you can keep your tools clean, you can use them again, but otherwise these things are pretty much garbage. Okay. Try to warm that up as best we can. Okay, I would say that's another step in the right direction. All right, we're back. I got Hudson, my trusty assistant. We're going to get ready to do a little bit of sanding. So you will see that it has dried up quite nicely.
What? Dry up that? What's
You see, it's all, this is when you were at the birthday party. Daddy did all of this Bondo.
What's that, Bondo?
Bondo is what you can put on a car to help fix it up when it's been cracked and that kind of thing.
Why?
So that's where it gets rusty. You can repair it with this kind of thing. So we're going to try this. This is like an 80 grit. So I'm not planning to use this very much. This is sandpaper. I'll show you. It's going to be pretty cool. And then I got like 150 and a 220, and I picked up like a 400 at the store. So we're just going to go over this real easy and see what it kind of looks like. This is nice and it feels like it's nice and dry now. Does it feel good to you, Hudson? All right. Back up a little bit. We're going to give this a try. I just got it on low for now. Let's see how it goes. I was hoping it was going to get inside all the way there, but it doesn't really. So have to do that by hand, I guess.
That's cool.
That's pretty neat, isn't it? We're going this way. And this part here. Okay, so let's start, and we'll take the paper now, like this. This is sandpaper too. See how it feels kind of gritty. See? Yeah, there you go. So we're gonna use that to try and like smooth this out a bit.
Oh.
This is hard on this angle, so I'll get down on the ground so we can do it better.
What's that?
No, it's just a piece of paper from the Bondo. Anyway, we'll get a better camera angle here. Then we'll do a little bit more. Don't record just yet. Oh, is that a good angle?
A little closer.
Is that pretty good? Okay, we're back. We just got. Oh, there's Hudson. Hey, bud. All right, here. Let's show them this. Show them this. Okay, try not to move the camera.
Okay.
So we've just been going along here with this, pretty straightforward. I'm gonna tilt it down a bit. We're just been going. You can see this. I don't know how you can see that. Actually, I'll get you a little closer. I can see that way.
Yeah.
All right, let's try it again.
Let's.
Okay, so you can probably see here it's coming along pretty well. This is only a few minutes of sanding. The tricky part is to rebuild this part here. Just one sec, bud. This part here that has kind of the line, like it's not flat, right? Like it's easy to sand this up here, but this is not flat. So I'm trying to just like take this and sort of put a groove in it, put my finger in there, and really like force that area to kind of become prominent again. I'm gonna need to do another little coat here, because you can see that like there, I can't see anything because I suck at holding the camera. There's a gap, and up here is gonna need a little bit more too. But if I can kind of get some of this like closer, I think it'll make it easier to make that look good. So, alright, let me check in with Hudzy. We'll be back. Okay, so it's coming along pretty good. Pretty pleased with this. A lot of this and this. You gotta fix this little issue here, and this bit is a little bit low. So we're gonna mix up another batch and give it a shot. Okay, so we have the what I'm hoping is gonna be the last coat on. There's still some bumps there, but the trick is I think that everything is high enough that it'll sand off, and then I can redo sort of that that little dip that I want to have there to match the rest of the bumper. So we're over there. And then hopefully we're ready to paint. So more to come. Okay, so a little update. It's the next morning again. I just gave it another sand with the 150 grit. It's coming along pretty nice. Starting to look like a bumper again. I mean, once it's painted up, it'll look a lot better, obviously. But I'm gonna hit it now with the 220 and then the 400. And then we might try to paint her. All right. So we hit it with the 250 and then the 400, and I don't know how you can see that, but it looks pretty good to me. It's nice and smooth. This is the 400 stuff, the automotive one. I think it's gonna look pretty good. I'm trying to keep my shadow out of the job there, but we're gonna throw some paint on her and see how it looks. All right, we're ready to paint. We put a little tape here to protect the grill. We're gonna be real careful how we go about spraying this in an effort to not get it on any of the black parts, but that tape will help. I'm just using I had this in the house, like a rust paint. It's like gonna be close on the color. It looks like it might be a little bit darker, but we'll see how it dries. Looks like it's gonna be pretty close. I find it really hard to match paint. I tried to do this for the Subaru, the last car I had. Went and had an official, piece, spray can mixed up based on the paint code and everything that's supposed to be perfect. It wasn't perfect. A lot of the cars, they fade over time, especially me driving cars that are old as the hills. It's really hard to match paint. So I may try to, I'm just going to put this on for now and see how it looks. This says it acts as a primer as well. Provides a prime surface for top coat. So if I want to go and put more on there, I shook this up a bunch already, but let's see how it goes. Hey? Give her a shot. I'm just going to try to go real in swipe motion so that I don't get too much in one spot. It's coming on pretty light in color, which is good since I thought maybe it was going to be too dark. Shake it up a bit more. Don't want to put too much on. We'll do a few coats, Underneath too. And I'm starting to, I gotta be careful because I'm starting to see a little bit of drips there. And I don't want that. So I'm gonna stop. We'll let that dry and then we'll give it another coat. And I can sand that down a little bit if I have to. Down underneath here if I get too many drips. But then we'll see how the color matches after a coat or two.